Okay, hey guys. We're gonna go over month-end madness and kind of how we can kind of push for the month, end of the month. This was actually really fortunate to have the call on the 29th, just because we have 2 full days left in the month. So that's actually really great for anybody that's still pushing or anything like that. I definitely think that it's part of your business, it's part of the business to continually push, and obviously if you have goals to hit, you want to make sure you hit those before the end of the month. The sooner the better, obviously. So usually I like to front load things, but obviously the beginning of this month was a little bit rough. So it wasn't exactly smooth sailing for a while, but it has gotten a lot better, and hopefully your businesses are seeing that kind of uptake, that boost. Posh had a lot of flash sales go on happening, and they had a lot of fun incentives. So hopefully that kind of helped you guys push ahead and continue to kind of grow. So kind of what I've got for you guys is kind of different ideas on how you can continue to push with 2 days left in the month. So some ideas are to hold a quick sort of mystery hostess or online Facebook or online Facebook party with your VIPs. We're sending out new catalogs and new samples to any of the new people that you had, or any of the with the new catalogs. So any new samples, be sure to touch base with them, follow up with them, offer an incentive for them to purchase. Like, hey, how are those samples? Did you get them okay? Did you have any questions? What can I do to help? But hey, Carissa. So message them, ask them, do a drawing for anybody that places an order before the end of the month. It doesn't have to be like a really difficult mystery hostess thing. It could just be everyone that places an order gets a ticket into the drawing for this. And it could be a full product, it could be a lip balm, it could be a deluxe sample pack, it could be something like maybe you have samples that are your coveted samples. These are the ones that you don't really give out to every single person. Maybe that's what you're giving away as your prize. And sometimes I like doing that with like obviously with lip balms, with bath salts. I also really enjoy doing that with what is it? Oh, the soap samples, the Portal soap samples, just because those are like really nice size samples. Like the size of those, like that will last people for a very long time. So that's another great way of doing it without spending a ton of money. But yeah, so basically some sort of drawing or Mr. Hostess kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be crazy. If you guys go on our VIP group for just like 10 minutes or something like that and just kind of go over, hey guys, these are my favorites. This is what I've got for you, you can offer a bundle. If you guys have cash and carry, you guys can pull together what you have on hand and create your very own like VIP bundle and kind of sell that. And that can help you kind of at the very least get rid of your cash and carry. If you were saving some of that cash and carry for a show coming up, at least, and then you can get some orders in and kind of build your PV that way. Some great ideas out there that I saw were kind of doing like a lip bundle. So you got the Goodnight Kisses, a lip scrub, and a lip balm, and it was just whatever lip scrub and whatever lip balm I had on hand, that's what you're gonna get. And that's kind of a fun idea to kind of throw out there, and that's something that I actually think would be really fun to do, not necessarily at the end of the month, but just anytime you have extras on hand to kind of do kind of like a mystery grab bag kind of deal. And I've been seeing a lot of people going live. So I really think that on the VIP page, their VIP groups, and I think that's really helping. Even if nobody's watching while you guys are live, they're going to come back and watch it. And that's something that I've kind of started doing because I was like, kind of like, I don't know, guys, I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it's really helped, and it's really helped, kind of get people kind of to be more aware of the different products. Okay, I love the chat box going, but it's getting me like super distracted. Yeah, so you can do there's the big fat yummy hand cream roulette. Sorry, I'm like, oh, that's so fun. So what you're doing is they don't know what is in the bag. They just pick a number. That's fun. See, I kind of think that's, if you guys do it in a way that they feel like they've earned it, then it's more worth it to them. If you're just offering a prize for every purchase, maybe they're just not as inclined to get it because they're kind of like, well, you offer deals all this time. There's no reason for me to get it now. If you make it a little bit more special and, like here, 1 to 10, pick a prize. This is your prize. I'll message you what your prize is. And then give them maybe a discount. And I've done this before when I did a month-end push. I did like it was like Easter time, but it was like eggs. Like pick your egg. So find some sort of 1 through whatever. Have them pick a number, and then you privately message them what their prize is. And their prize can be whatever you want to do. But for the most part, my prizes were, if you purchase today or like by the end of the month, you get like a huge discount or a huge prize. Obviously not more than my commission, so not like you're not losing money, but like this is your like 20% off today or 5 or 10% off through the first part of the next month. And that actually grew through in that created a sense of urgency. And that's kind of one of the things that you want, that kind of month-end frenzy to kind of transfer over to your customers as well. So those are kind of different ideas on how to kind of get your VIPs rolling. So what is the Perfect Pairs video? Can you explain that?
Can I unmute and just tell you?
Yeah, that's what
okay, so on Posh Talk this weekend, they had a thing with Perfect Pairs. And so part of it was like from the old catalog, if you loved New York Minute, what would you like now that that's not here? And so calling all fairies would be like the complimentary there. But Kylene went a little bit further in some of her videos and was taking new things like this scent complements this scent, so you can have these together. I love these two. They're the perfect pair. You should buy them together. And I just really liked that idea. And since this time in the catalog, I was fortunate enough to be able to get almost everything that's new, and I still have a lot of old stuff. I really kind of want to try that and see what happens. And I've been trying to do better about like YouTube videos and stuff too, and making sure that what I record is not always a live video, because I can't pull a live video and download it. So I've been trying to make sure, like I downloaded the Zoom app so that I could easily record videos and then just they download to my computer right when I'm done, so I can just upload that to YouTube real quick. So that's something I really want to do, is like, if you love all of my love, you should really use Dawn on Me with that in the morning. Or, not necessarily, these are just two I have right next to me right now. But so I'm excited to try that, especially since with this catalog, unlike my previous catalogs, we actually have a lot of scents that do complement each other this time. And I feel like that's a little bit new. A lot of times it's all like, you can get everything snarky, and that's like it. Everything else kind of like almost feels like they don't go together. So if you're wearing this body butter, you can't really wear this hand cream because they don't go. But this time I feel like we have a lot more options that actually match. And so I want to try and emphasize that. That's the perfect pairs. Things that go well together, or something that can replace something else that's not here anymore.
I love that. Yeah, I think that if you're doing the videos and if you're going live, mix it up. Mix up your videos and what you're talking about. So you can do a review with every single mask and individually do each mask. But that kind of like, what makes if somebody's going to look at, I'm turning blueberry and they're just like, whatever, I'm not interested in that one, they're not going to watch that video. But if you pull it up if you put it in with like an exfoliating, because it has the blueberries, it kind of is, and kind of throw it in there, then that's going to kind of upsell and kind of cross sell a lot. So it's going to help you kind of do that. So that's a really great idea. Kylene, did you see success with that? Did you share that with your customers? Sorry, putting you on the spot.
If my kids are super loud in the background, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I did. I did a couple of perfect pair videos and actually got a lot of engagement on those. I did them just for the Posh Talk thing, but I'm probably going to keep doing it because I got a lot of good feedback on that. When I did my perfect pair of the Fallout Girl body wash and the Girl Crush Skin Joy, I ended up selling 3 of those each, like as a pair. And I had 6 or 7 people request samples of my perfect pair so that I could send it to them. So definitely worked, and it's going to sell things as a set, which is always nice. So they're not just buying one or the other. So yeah, I saw a lot of really good feedback from it.
That's a good idea. I see that's like kind of like that is basically like pulling together bundles, but in a more like a theme. So people, for anybody that's like, well, I don't know how to put bundles together. I'm not sure what people want, maybe thinking in perfect pairs for the customers that aren't going to buy 6 items every time they buy something. That's going to help you a lot too.
Right.
Okay. So that totally like threw my training off, my mindset off. I'm like, what? Okay. Thanks, Carissa. Yeah, and thanks, Kylie, for sharing that too. We're gonna have to kind of deal with that. So I think that's gonna be like a whole training topic on its own. Kind of how you're pairing things together and selling more than one thing. Okay. Okay, you guys did not hear my story. Some of you guys heard my story right before I came, and I'm still kind of like, and my kid, they just barely got home, so they've been in the drive-thru for a while. Moving on. Yeah, okay, so the VIPs. Okay, so then what else can you do outside of your VIP group? So that was kind of your VIP group and how you can kind of move on from there. So outside of your VIP group, so if you're sharing samples with people and they haven't gotten into your VIP group, they're not seeing your posts, so you have to follow up. Honestly, if you're giving them samples, you're not going to bug them if you follow up. Obviously, if you're asking them every day, did you try it? Did you try it? Did you try it? What'd you think? What'd you think? That's going to be too much. But if you're like, if you sent it to them in the beginning of August, you checked back, after they got them and they're like, well, haven't tried it yet. Well, guys, it's the end of the month. So they've had a full month, then maybe, now's the time to check in and be like, hey, how are things? How can I help you? Did you have a favorite? What was your favorite? So that's kind of one of the things that you can kind of do there. So if you had that going on that you were planting seeds and you're kind of checking that out. If you guys are starting from scratch basically and you're trying to figure out, well, how am I going to get more sales in? Because I have, I've tapped out my VAPs, I've tapped out my sample people. Who am I going to talk to? That's the scary part. That's when you go into your cold market. Either that, or do you still have warm market? Have you talked to everybody in your warm market? And that's usually kind of the thing, like you have to really, that's a question for yourself and you really have to admit, did you really talk to everybody? Like, honestly, did you look through every single person, in your Facebook, friends list? Did you really talk to, like every single person that you come in contact with? Have you talked to them about it? Then in that case, maybe you need to admit to yourself that you didn't. If the warm market is too scary, the cold market's even scarier, guys. So you really need to kind of, I don't know, own up to it and be like, okay, no, I didn't talk to my high school friends because I was worried what they say. Well, guys, they're not gonna come to you, okay? They're not gonna be like, hey, I want to buy stuff. Can I buy stuff? No, really? Like, do you go to people and you're like, can I buy things from you? Can I please? Come on, guys. Like, let's be honest here. But I do love when you do have people who are like, can I do something? You're like, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love that. But usually that's not the case. It's usually you have to plant the seeds. You have to continue with it. Okay, so cold market. So that's it, reaching out to anybody that you don't talk to. So if you went to the grocery store and you're handing out samples to people there, if you're handing out to anybody that you kind of haven't talked to before, then that's kind of one of the things you can do. Obviously, get their information. If you're handing out samples, don't just send them out crazily, like to anybody. I've been seeing, so this is kind of a topic too. I've been seeing a lot of Google forms to get samples. And I want to kind of remind you guys that that's great, but if you're sending out samples, it'd be great. You kind of want something in return. If you're sending out samples, ask them if you can, hey, I, send out samples to my VAPs. Do you want to join my VIP group? Then I'd be happy to send out samples. or something like that, because there are a lot of people asking for samples who are not going to do anything after that. They're going to kind of ignore you after that. And you want to make sure that you're not just getting taken advantage of, because there are so many Google Forms out there right now that I'm kind of like, guys, are you really following up with these people? Do you really know? And, so just be mindful of that. But yeah, okay. And then, so looking ahead to next month. Next month is the last month of the incentive period, and I've been saying like time and time again that is the time that you want. September is the month you're going to be pushing, because you want to hit any promotion that you guys are able to hit, because you're going to get additional goodies from Posh. So if you're within your 90 days props period, then that's like double bonus, because you're already pushing to hit that 60-day bonus or the 90-day bonus. And in that case, you want to hit your pink. You want to hit pink, or you want to hit pink +1 or above. If you are outside of your 90-day props, pink should be the bare minimum of what you should get if you haven't already reached it. If you are continually working, for the most part, I think many of you have already hit pink, but if you haven't yet, it's not too late to do it. You have a full month ahead to do it. Get some parties on your calendar. Just reach out to everybody in your warm market. Reach out to your customers. If you have somebody that loves a product, it's not too scary. You're not too out of the blue to ask them, hey, like I would love to, I would love to get you some free, Posh. Are you interested in hosting? Or I have some free days, what do you think? And it's kind of like offering the opportunity to join. If you don't offer the opportunity, they don't know that it's an option. Because I'm not sure how many times you guys have talked to people and they're kind of like, well, what is Posh? And is it like a party thing? And they don't even know. And so it's kind of like you kind of have to offer it up, guys. You have to ask them, because if you don't ask, they're never gonna, like, they don't know that you want to host parties. They don't know. Maybe they think all you want to do is do your VIP group and that's it. So if you're putting that out there, that's gonna help. But yeah, get bookings on the calendar for September. Do it earlier in the month so that you don't have to push at the end of the month. Yeah, and then we did go over Google Forms on how we did tracking for the organizing one. So yeah, I use Google Form for like everything. So it helps so much. But yeah, so but do you guys have any questions specifically at all? That was like a weird way of phrasing it, but I'm still kind of like running crazy. Okay. Yeah, I think that was kind of my tidbits of advice. You have to really be honest with yourself and decide, figure out, did you really talk to everybody? Did you really, have you, sometimes you're not going to be working, you're not going to be working this full time. Most of us are not full-time Poshers, and that's okay. But for what the time that you are putting in, is it quality time? Are you actually being productive in each time when you're doing stuff, or are you just sitting there like refreshing? Or posting something and then seeing how many people like saw it, because that's not super productive. Post your thing, schedule your posts, move on to the next thing. Continue to kind of spread out what you're doing. So don't just sit and continue to post on your VIP group if there's nothing happening on your VIP group. Maybe focus your efforts elsewhere, because obviously that, you're working it there and people are seeing that, but spending like an hour sitting there and seeing if people are like seeing your posts is not going to help you grow your business. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of see myself doing that. So I don't know if any of you guys do that, but I kind of sit here sometimes and I'm like, so I'm just sitting here and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, I'm just like 20 minutes have passed and I've literally just sat here, like refresh, check that page, refresh, check that. And I'm like, holy crap. Like that was 20 minutes I could have done doing so much, like so many more things. But anyway, so yeah, be productive in the September month. It's not too late to kind of push. Make sure that you guys are reaching out to all of the people that you follow or you've sent samples to. Make sure you're reaching out to your team members. If you're recruiting, make sure you're reaching out to your team members so they know about their props, so they know about the incentive period, because you kind of have to work together to do it. yeah, so yeah, I'm like, blah, 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 da, da. Okay, schedule things out for September so that you have it on the calendar so you're not feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on. If you guys have specific questions on any of this stuff, let me know. We did do trainings on portable parties a couple of weeks ago, and we have talked about home parties and events a lot, but this is just kind of I don't know, like a brainstorm of things that you can be doing to kind of push through the end of the month. But yeah, so does anyone have questions on this or anything to add on this before we kind of move on, and we can kind of do a general Q&A afterward if you guys are up for it. So cool. Okay, for anybody that's watching this training later, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have questions, go to your sponsor, go to the team page, post, look up trainings. There's so much out there for you guys to be, gaining knowledge on. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah, thanks guys.